Hey guys, Jasmine here with BIOTECH. It is the week of January 21st, and here are a few things that you might have missed.
Lockheed Martin produces systems that do everything from detect the threats, to identify the threats, determine whether it's a threat to the aircraft, and then employs the appropriate weapon, in this case, a laser weapon system.
What we're hearing from our customers is that they need a layered, multi-domain defensive approach that can be integrated across platforms to neutralize these threats across all those domains.
So what's exciting about this technology is that it's scalable. It's lived in the laboratory for many years, but has finally reached the power levels and the effectiveness to allow it to be used on the battlefield. As an example, today's laser weapon systems can be used to defeat rockets, artillery, mortars, and even small UAVs. And as that technology and capability scales, the effectiveness scales with it. We'll be to the point here shortly where we'll be able to defend aircraft against incoming missiles and even reach out over long distances and destroy ballistic missile threats.
In 1859, a similarly powerful solar flare called the Carrington event did hit Earth, treating people as far south as the Caribbean to the Northern Lights, while also knocking out major telegraph systems in both Europe and North America. In some cases, the geomagnetic disturbances were so strong that they sparked fires, shocked telegraph operators, and even allowed the telegraph system to work with no power. In 1989, a large geomagnetic storm caused a blackout in Quebec after the coronal mass ejection managed to trip circuit breakers in their grid, leaving 6 million people without power for 9 hours. So clearly, these storms have the power to really mess with vital technologies that keep our society moving. Oh, stationary wires can generate currents when a magnetic field changes around them. And our electricity grid happens to be made up of millions of kilometers of stationary wire. We have effectively turned the planet into a massive electric generator by surrounding the Earth's magnetic core with all this conductive wire. The only thing that's missing is a large shift in the Earth's magnetic field. Unfortunately for us, that is exactly what coronal mass ejections do to Earth's magnetic field. These eruptions of particles travel at a fraction of the speed of light, about 0.15% the speed of light for our above 1989 event, and thus can provide up to an hour of warning time. In severe solar storms, these warnings would give industries where GPS malfunction could lead to loss of life, like airliners, vital time to prepare.
The UAE is one of the driest countries on Earth, with an annual rainfall of roughly 120 millimeters. As a result, it has to get creative when it comes to finding solutions for water. In the early 2000s, the UAE started performing regular cloud seeding operations. Cloud seeding is the process of increasing the amount of rain produced from clouds. It starts here, inside the National Center of Meteorology, where a team is constantly monitoring forecasts, looking for potential clouds to seed. The operations only work with cumulus clouds, which are vertical in shape.
Research 5 operation, can you read me?
Once they spot a cloud, they radio the pilots, who then take to the air armed with hydroscopic flares filled with a mixture of potassium chloride, sodium chloride, magnesium, and other materials. It's essentially salt. When the plane reaches the right clouds, the pilots release the flares.
These salts basically attracts the moisture and try to make it condense. So these particles becomes nuclei of condensation, and then when these droplets condense, and then they hit each other, and then they form a bigger droplet that the air cannot hold it any longer in the air, so it forms as rain.
In 2017, the UAE performed 242 cloud seeding operations. The government is confident the operations are increasing the amount of rainfall, but it's difficult to gauge.
Today's video is on the top 5 cloud generating machines. Number 5. The Taurus molecular cloud machine was invented by the Russian military and is designed to decontaminate soldiers that have been exposed to a chemical agent. It works by shooting high-pressure water into a modified MiG-21 jet engine. This mixes with chemical compounds to create a high-temperature mixture of gas and steam. This gas blows away radioactive particles and destroys infectious agents. A creative solution to a potential chemical attack. Number 4. The government of the UAE is trying new things to create rainfall across their dry desert nation. They came up with an idea to modify the outtake of a plane engine to literally form clouds. This is called cloud seeding, but maybe this technology will develop over time. Number 3. NASA tests a solid rocket booster which they plan to use for future deep space exploration. The chemicals involved in the burn create a dark cloud, large enough to get picked up on weather radar. Number 2. So this machine here, appropriately named Big Wind, is designed to put out oil well fires. It works quite literally by shooting a cloud of water vapor directly into an oil well fire. The combination of water vapor and wind blows the fire right out. Oil well fires are incredibly difficult to control, but this machine is an innovative solution to an impossible problem. And finally, number 1. Engineers at NASA's Stennis Space Center in Mississippi test a new RS-25 rocket engine. The burn lasted for 8.5 minutes, and when finished, a massive cloud loomed over the facility, one of the largest man-made clouds ever created.